kayo? How's the second week of your January? Grabe no, ang bilis. Parang kailan lang, kaka-New Year lang natin. And I just started recording the first episode of our podcast recently. Tapos ngayon, grabe, patapos na yung January. Almost third week na ng January, no? Parang ang dami na nangyari. So, ang dami ko nakikita mga posts na grabe na yung taon na to. Grabe na taon agad. Pero 3 weeks pa lang in January, no? Pero, grabe gosh, sobrang nakakapagod, no? Probably, it comes from siguro the motivation or the drive to do things na ma-accomplish natin yung mga New Year's resolution natin, ganyan. So, actually, before I decide to record this podcast, sobrang sama talaga ng pakiramdam ko. And parang tinatamad na ako. So, actually, that's the danger, no, of announcing things before you actually do it. Kasi sabi ko sa'yo, di ba, I'm gonna upload every week. Tapos parang feeling ko tuloy, dopamine hit siya. So kung nakapanood yun yung mga videos ko, di ba, I highly encourage people to not announce things that they want to do because sometimes our brain trick us, especially pag may ginawa tayo or may sinabi tayo about our plans. Akala ng brain natin is nagawa na natin siya. But it's actually just a dopamine hit. Kasi yung dopamine is just a reward hormone. And kapag may sinabi ka related to your goal, akala ng brain mo is nagawa mo na siya, pero hindi pa. So parang ganun yung nararamdaman ko the past few weeks nung grabe. Parang tinatamad ako, ganyan. But we have to do things that we're committed to. Kaya nga sabi ko, di ba, we have to do things repeatedly. Kasi kapag nawala na yung motivation, nawala na yung, alam mo yung drive, the only thing that is left is discipline. So, yay! Makapag-record tayo ng podcast for today. And we have a sender and a letter to read today. Kasi nga, di ba, Dear Charity, no? So, if you want to also send a letter para din mapag-usapan natin here in the podcast, you can look out in the description kung saan mag-send ng inyong letter. So, this is the letter. So, anonymous na lang yung letter niya. Okay. So, Dear Ate Chari. Ate Chari talaga. Recently, madalas kami nag-aaway ng boyfriend ko kasi tuwing magiinuman sila is nagkakaroon kami ng problem sa bahay. Nagpapaalam naman siya ng maayos sa akin. However, I feel like hindi niya ako mahal or hindi siya nagkikare sa akin kasi parang mas inuuna niya pa yung inuman kesa samahan ako sa problema ko with my family. Yes, nagpapaalam siya and I agreed naman, pinayagan ko siya na magsaya sa mga kaibigan niya, minsan lang naman yun. Pero nakakainis lang kasi that when something happens in our house, palagi na lang din natataon na nagiinuman sila. So iniisip niya na nagdadrama ako or kaya hindi ko siya pinapayagang magsaya just because I feel miserable. Ano po ba dapat kong gawin? So, nag-send nung letter na yun. Actually, ganyan yung mga nakausap ko this past few weeks. Ang galing nga kasi yung nag-send ng letter na yun, the same, di ba the same, no? Pero yung mga nakausap ko, they do have the same problem, no? Commonly yung parang, halimbawa, meron kang problem with yourself or with your family, tapos yung boyfriend mo either nagsasaya, ganyan, or nagta-travel, tapos parang ikaw, you're craving for attention and you're craving for lambing, pero hindi niya mabigay sa'yo just because he's having some fun. So, I would like to discuss things, but before that, I don't know if you have heard this word, attachment issues. So, yung attachment issues na to is, nag-originate siya actually from the attachment theory psychologically ni John Bowlby. Okay, meron kasing study kung ano yung attachment mo or ano yung form of attachment mo that was developed during your childhood, na dadala mo siya adulthood. And gumawa na ako ng isang TikTok about this, no? Yung sabi ko nga dun sa TikTok ko, sometimes we have to accept that we are the toxic ones, na tayo yung may mga problem talaga, especially when we have unresolved attachment issues. Kasi, nagmamanifest siya hindi lang sa romantic relationship including friendships. For me, ganun yung nangyari. Hindi pa ako aware na may mga attachment issues. And then, like for me, dati, no, halimbawa kapag may nakakausap ako, ganyan, sobrang na-attach ako to that person. To the point na kahit sobrang busy niya, kukulitin ko. Or kaya sa mga friends ko, halimbawa kapag kailangan ko ng kausap, tapos hindi ako na-replyan agad, feeling ko, they don't care for me. When in reality, hello, busy lang sila. They have their own life too. And the beauty about knowing what attachment style that you have is you will be aware of your own tendencies. Ano ba yung mga bagay na nakakapagpa-trigger sa'yo so that when it happens, you know how to address it or alam mong mag-move doon sa pinaka-ideal type of attachment style which is the secured attachment. So, yung secured attachment, this is the first attachment style. There are 4 by the way. Okay, the secured attachment style, the anxious attachment style, the avoidant, and the fearful avoidant attachment style. So, yung quadrant 1, let's say, that's the secure attachment style. Okay, to simplify it, kaya siya secured, you have a stable and secured sense of attachment. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? Okay, someone who has a secured and stable attachment style, they trust themselves and they also trust other people. wala silang anxiety or wala silang fear of abandonment, but they trust their partner or they trust their friends that if hindi nila mabigay yung time and attention at this moment, they're just busy. For example, if someone doesn't respond you, nag-text ka sa kanila, hindi sila nakapag-respond agad, your response is, okay lang, baka busy pa siya, or may ginagawa pa siya. You will just wait patiently because you understand that people, alam mo yun, they have their own commitment too. Hindi yung umiikot lang yung mundo nila sa'yo. So that's the first attachment style. That's the most ideal. Hindi ka nagpapanik, hindi ka nagkakaroon ng anxiety na, gosh, hindi niya ako na-replyan, or hindi man lang niya ako kinamusta or whatsoever. Okay na magtampo, but on a higher degree na hindi ka lang nakapag-reply for 1 hour, or sabi natin, ilang hours lang, ilang minutes lang, diba? Tapos nagpanik ka na agad. It's kind of unhealthy. So, the second one naman, attachment style, is the anxious attachment style. Etong anxious attachment style na to, you trust other people, but you do not trust yourself. You have a fear of abandonment. So, paano siya nag-work, Chari? If you have anxious attachment style, so let's say, hindi naka-reply sa'yo yung partner mo, ang response mo is, hala, baka hindi niya na ako mahal. Or hala, baka may ibang babae na siya. Or let's say, hindi nakapag-reply sa'yo yung friend mo, no? Ang response mo is, hala, hindi na nila ako binavalue or baka mamaya may ginawa kong hindi maganda. Alam mo yun, parang nagpapanik ka na on ano yung nagawa mong mali. When in fact, is ginagawa lang naman talaga nila yung mga commitments nila. For example, they are in work, they are in school, diba? So, yung anxious attachment style, medyo, ito yung lagi kang clingy, lagi kang nag-crave for attention. Sometimes you're over pleasing other people na to the point na kahit sobrang busy na or kahit sobrang busy mo, willing kang i-let go yung mga dapat mong gawin para lang dun sa taong yon. To the point na napapabayaan mo na, including your school, or in your career, or your time with your family, di ba? So, that's the second attachment style. Matatandaan mo siya with this phrase, you trust other people, but you do not trust yourself. Kasi you have fear of abandonment. The third attachment style is the avoidant attachment style. Ito naman yung, okay, kapag tinext mo yung partner mo or yung friend mo and hindi nag-reply, ang response mo is, okay lang, at least hindi ako mapipilita makipag-engage in a small talk. Or hindi ako mapipilita makipag-message kasi, alam mo, it's so tiring. Avoidant comes from the word avoid. You avoid deep connection, you avoid deep talks, and malas yung tao, okay lang sa'yo. Wala kang pake. Hindi mas wala kang pake, pero parang ganun, no? So that's the third attachment style. And the fourth one is the fearful or disorganized attachment style. This is a bit of a mix of the fearful attachment style and avoidant attachment style. Ito yung you have a fear of abandonment, so you are craving for their attention, but at the same time, you don't want to engage in a conversation that you will feel vulnerable. For example, you text your partner or your friend, and hindi sila nakapag-reply. Nag-isip ka na, oh my God, baka niya na ako mahal, or may iba na siyang babae, or kaya, ano ba ito, hindi naman lang ako binibigyan ng importance. But at the same time, you don't want to address it to the person. Ayaw mong pag-usapan siya, or ayaw mong i-address ito dun sa tao. So, medyo complicated itong pang-apat na to, no? So, I'll give you a real-life scenario, my own personal experience on how I discover kung ano yung attachment style ko. So, kagaya nga na isa kong, diba, example is yung kanina, yung anxious attachment style, na grabe dati, no, kapag talking stage pa lang, feeling ko jowa ko na, no? Yung parang, my God, kailangan ko maging invested sa time and effort dito sa tao na to. Pero talking stage pa lang. Hindi pa nga siya nagsasabi na gusto kang ligawan, ganyan, no? Kaya sa mga friends, to the point na dati, I'm living in QC, Diyos ko, kahit taga Rizal, or whatsoever part ng Philippines pa yan, Bulacan, basta kaya ng pera ko, kaya ng time, wala ko, gagawan ko na paraan just to go to that person. Kahit na alam ko may mga responsibilities ako, at kahit na alam ko na busy yung tao, kukulitin ko talaga, ganyan. So, another example that I have is, when my mom died, actually, paiba-iba ang attachment style eh. Nag-move ako, I realized, I moved from anxious attachment style to avoidant attachment style. How did I say so? So, nung time na when my mother died, after nun is, and I don't want to engage in conversation. Dati naman, normally, I would be the one to say, hi, kamusta ka? Pero grabe, nung after nung my mom died, wala, as in, wala talaga akong kinamusta. Okay lang sa akin kahit mag-isa ako. Okay, wala akong pake kung hindi mo ko kamustahin. To that level talaga, no? That people, siguro, a lot of my friends, yan, na-misinterpret nila na friendship over na with me. Pero, what I really want that time is, alam mo yon, I just want to heal myself. Kasi, biglang nag-iba yung iba yung ihip ng relationship and status of our lives biglang naging breadwinner and I have to take so much responsibility. So, I have to trust myself first kasi I will be the provider. So, I need to give the things that I need first so I can give it to others. So, di ba nga sabi ko kanina, when you trust yourself but you don't trust other people, you have an avoidant style. But if you don't trust yourself but you trust other people, you have a fearful attachment style or anxious attachment style. So in my case, I don't trust other people. I just trust myself. So that's when I develop an avoidant attachment style. And Chari, paano saan nagagaling yung attachment style na yon? So it comes from our childhood experience. Ganito daw kasi yon. Pag baby ka, first thing that you have to develop, or the first virtue that you have to develop is trust. 'Di ba? Trust na ibibigay nung parents mo or nung caregiver or the mother yung kailangan mo, which is the milk or the food, 'di ba? Or kapag halimbawa nahihirapan kang mag-poop or nahihirapan ka sa sarili mo, your parents are present to give it to you, to give the things that you need, such as your diapers, your meal, ganyan, or the care or attention that you need, di ba? Ngayon, kung bata ka daw, kung na-provide sa'yo in a healthy way, in a balanced way, hindi yung sobrang pampered, yung mga bagay na kailangan mo nung bata ka. So when you grow up, you develop a secure attachment style. That's why you are stable. Alam mo na wala kang fear of abandonment kasi mismong parents mo or the caregiver, hindi yung caregiver na, you know, the work. Ito yung term nila sa nagbibigay sa'yo ng care. It's either your mother, your father, or relatives that has to take care of you. So, yung caregiver, pero typically it refers to the mother. Yung caregiver is present to give you what you need. So, you develop a secured and stable attachment style. However, if your mother or your parents is not present, and totally wala talaga sila, they avoid the responsibility, and you typically grow on your own, you will develop avoidant attachment style, which makes sense, no? Kasi nga, you learn to trust yourself before you can trust other people. Na, okay, wala naman yung parents ko to give me what I need, so I have to trust myself. So, ito yung mga bata na na-abandon, ganyan, na naiwan talaga, na hindi naibigay yung needs nila. Typically like that, avoidant. And the next one, which is yung anxious attachment style, ito daw yung hindi consistent yung pagbibigay sa'yo ng care and attention. Paano hindi consistent, Shari? May mga times na, yes, they can give you what you need, pero there are times that they avoid or they cannot give you what you need. So you develop an anxious attachment style kasi hindi mo alam kung sa next ba na may pangangailangan ka or the next time that you need love and attention, mabibigay pa yon ng parents mo or nung caregiver mo. That's why you develop an anxious attachment style na ikaw mismo sa sarili mo, gosh, I need to do something for me na maging consistent lang yung binibigay niyang love. Alam mo yun, na sobrang clingy mo, kahit na sobrang busy, kinukulit mo sila, diba? That's how the attachment styles are developed. So why am I telling you this? Kasi a lot of our relationships, hindi lang to romantic, including our friendships, including din sa mga network natin, no? Or sa mga pina-form natin na relationships in a community, ganyan. Attachment style will really have an effect on you, whether you like it or not. So you really have to be aware kung anong klase ng attachment style meron ka.